You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to make a new intro. Yes, I have on sunglasses. I'm incognito today. My little 3-year-old cousin says, "Cousin, wear your sunglasses and see if they still know it's you." Well, I didn't want to burst her little bubble, but she's too cute, so I wore my sunglasses just to humor her. What's up, everybody? We're going to do 2 shows this week because I just have the time. I finished a major project. I'm getting ready to ramp up for another one. I have some downtime this week. So, just spending time with the folks and my friends and stuff and just trying to chill before I go back to hell on Monday. But yes, I'm going to do 2 shows this week today and then again on Thursday. So, yeah, that. Hold on a second. Let me get my Okay, I just was checking my Wi-Fi connection to make sure that, hold on a second, this is not right. Why is this not plugged in? Where is the wonder it's so slow? Hold on a second, people. This is what I get for not. Okay, here we go. My HDMI cable. Is that the right spot? I'm getting it together slowly but surely. I guess that's just what's the best it's gonna do. All right. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna do 2 shows this week, Tuesday, and again be here on Thursday. So we have less questions. We have 18, 18 questions for each on each day. So it's actually gonna be more than it would be normally be. It's normally 25 a week. But we have a lot. We have a big backlog. So this is actually a way to help me get through some of them. So let's get started. We don't have a mentee today. We'll have one on Thursday because I didn't have time by the time I got back from my adventures for the 3-day weekend. So let's go with 18 questions today for those of you who like to keep track. Get over to the comments. And question number 1. This is a female. She's 35 to 41 age group. She's Caucasian from Miramar, Florida. I don't know where that is. Summary of issue. I just had surgery and my boyfriend has not helped me. Am I correct for wanting to end it? Absolutely. But let's see what's going on here. We're both in our mid-30s and we've been together for 4 years. I just have had cervical spine fusion surgery. Cervical, so that's up here. I was told by my surgeon to not have nook for 4 to 6 weeks. But Deb, my fiance, oh, here we go with that fiance again, has started harassing me. He's been grabbing my chest, hands down my pants, and even my neck on the exact incision spot, starting the day I got home, which was 2 days after the surgery. And he kept it up for 3 days until I just caved in so I could have some peace. Wow. The next day and night and yesterday and last night, I have been in such incredible pain. And I've had to split my pain meds and muscle relaxers with him since I've been back. Now, what? We live with his family, his mom, his dad, his uncle, and his sister. He also told me to, quote, try to sleep in when we have 4 dogs and a 9-week-old kitten because he didn't want to get up early to make coffee for me or help me fill my water glass or anything. I told him beforehand that I would need help with. I can barely get him to make a canned broth for me. Is this grounds to leave him when I'm back on my feet? Girl, you should be plotting that to get away like right now. As a matter of fact, what you probably should do, I don't know what kind of health insurance you have, but they have like rehab centers where you can go. And they have, medical staff and stuff there to help you. That's where you need to be. You should not be at home because you call your doctor, your surgeon, or whoever supervises your case. Explain what's going on. Say you're being abused and how he treated you, and that you need to go to a rehab center until you're independent. Yes, giggles. It's a Tuesday and I'm here. I just really don't even know how to act. Mhm. That's what you need to do. This is unfortunate. You're not old enough to call APS, so you're going to have to make the phone call yourself. So while he's at work, you set that up, and they can send a medical transport company to come and get you and take you to the rehab center. And while you're in there, you start making phone calls and doing whatever you need to do to get yourself situated so that by the time you get back, back on your feet and you get what they call it, released from the rehab center, you don't go back there. You go to your new spot and then you be done with dude. Because this is abusive behavior. You just got surgery and this is not supposed to be going on. And if he's touching the actual spot where you got the surgery up here in your spine, that could mess you up for the rest of your life. And then he's taking your medications. See, no. You report all of this to your surgeon and tell them that you need help because you're in a position where you're too weak to fight for yourself and you need some help. And they will take care of it because they don't like this kind of stuff. The medical social workers will, step up and get you up out of there. Okay. Woo! Yeah, we got 18 questions today because we're gonna be here for those of you who just wandered in today and Thursday. So 2 shows this week. No Minty today. We will have one on Thursday though. So question number 2. This is a young lady, 28 to 34, from Visalia, California. Summary of issue. I want to tell you my story about using a dating app. Why? I done told y'all to stop messing with them damn things. She says, I'm not really even looking to date, to be honest. I installed one yesterday. I'm not going to say the name of it, out of curiosity as a bit of let's see what's out there just to know what the dating pool is like kind of thing. As I'm not really looking to date or to hook up or even meet anyone, it's more of a low stakes dipping my toes in the scene and checking the temperature. As such, I didn't message anyone. And even still, I was disappointed. Like the profiles I saw were often divided into one of 3 categories. Category 1, guys who looked and spoke like they were old enough to be my dad, finally looking to settle down. Yeah, when they all broke down and looking for what you guys y'all call it, a hospice wife, somebody to take care of them in their old age after they done screwed around all over the place while they're young. Category 2, guys who were young-ish, but I found unattractive and who seemed desperate and love bomby. Anyone will do vibes. Also, also claiming to be looking for a life partner. Hold on a second. And category number 3, very attractive guys with no personality who absolutely were not looking to bond and made that very clear. Almost everyone seemed either jaded or incredibly immature. And after a dopamine hit or some validation, it was crazy. I've installed dating apps a few years ago, when lasted about half an hour, and left for the same reason. But it's crazy coming back after years of being away and seeing it be exactly the same. I know these work for some people, and those people who found their partners give others hope. But I just can't see how, for 90% of the people, these dating apps would be anything but harmful. I literally went in with no expectations and was left feeling icky. I can't imagine actually using with them with the hopes of finding something. I remember hearing you say months ago that we women need to, as a whole, collectively leave these apps and have a bit of a strike. I must say that I have come to agree with you. Girl, most of the letters I get on this channel for the last few years, the women, they meet these guys on the dating apps. And so then here they are a couple of weeks later, or sometimes like, within that same week, they write like you to tell me about it and how horrible it was on the first date, or, the communication, or how they don't have any, and how they lie. I mean, it's just like a nightmare of stuff. And to think that in some of these instances, people are paying these dating apps to get dogged out and tricked and lied to, I just don't see any benefit to it. The percentage of women that I hear that have success with it, and success means, they get a husband or whatever. Um, but does that mean that the relationship is a good one, healthy one? Nope. Does it mean that it's going to last? Nope. Does it mean that once they get pregnant or the guy thinks he's got them that he's gonna, act right? Nope. And I feel like, um, meeting guys with the out in the wild, you get to see them. You get to, read their body language, um, tone of voice. You get to just watch how they communicate. You can ask them questions, follow through and stuff. It's not like texting where you have to wait and then they say, and it's cryptic. Conversation is flowing. And then if the guy doesn't flow, then you already know you got somebody who you can't really build a relationship with because he can't even have a conversation, can't even talk. So I prefer, the meeting people and weed them out in the flesh. But I do understand, the world has changed. Technology is out there. People want to use it. These third dating sites started in the 90s. So this is relatively new. People think this, you young folks think it's been around. Mm-mm. They used to have ads in newspapers. That's how it was on the back pages of newspapers, or certain little, like dating newspaper, newsletter type things. And they made their money because they would set up, you could buy a phone line for the person to call and you would talk to them through that. So they never had your real phone number. So that's how the newspapers made their money. Hey, Jerisha. Wow, I don't know. And all the ladies here, that be here on the regular talking about these dating apps, it's like, mm-mm. So I had threatened many, many times that I was going to set up a profile. I never did do it. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Caucasian from Everett, Washington. Summary of issue. Was this a red flag? I dated a guy for 2 months and I wasn't sure if this thing I'm about to mention was a red flag in retrospect. One of my friends said so, but I'm not sure, so I'm writing to ask you. He told me once after being intimate with me that he hooked up with a woman on a swipey thing, which we shall not mention, prior to dating me, but decided to continue just being friends with her, even though she wants a relationship with him. He said he, quote, feels sorry for her, end quote, because she has no friends. He told me all of this without me ever asking. It made me feel very uncomfortable. My friend said this was a red flag because he was being essentially unfaithful. What? Your friend is stupid. Granted, we weren't in a fully committed relationship. It's weird that he told me this, especially after being intimate with me. Is this a red flag, or do people just say stuff like this on dates after Nook Nook? Oh, you're so young and cute. Why would a man tell you about him screwing some other woman? The only reason is because he's trying to make himself look like a big baller. Okay. Even when women are stupid enough to ask about another woman, a man should be gentleman enough and have enough street smarts and enough common sense to tell her, let's not talk about them. They have no relevance. Let's talk about you. I'm here with you. Let's talk about us and redirect that conversation. You don't ever talk to some other woman, talk to a new woman about the women from the past. Let's like your ex-wife and you guys got child support and visitation issues that you're gonna be dealing with. But any other broad, you don't need to ever mention it to your new chick. Okay. Same thing with you women. You want to go start talking all this stuff about your exes. Nobody gives a shit about them fools. If they was all of that, where are they now? So why would you go mouthing off to the new dude about the past? Shut up. Just learn to just shut the hell up sometimes. You don't have to tell all your business. I have shit else to talk about. I'm gonna be talking about stupid stuff. So was this a red flag? It says you dated him for 2 months, so it's retrospect. So I'm assuming that this is over. But yeah, I mean, I would take that as something stupid, and I don't deal with stupid people, so that would have been the end of that. We have 18 questions tonight. 18 questions, and notice I'm using a new background. I'm like, I got tired of it. I want to change it up. Let's switch it up. Switch it up. Question number 4. This is a female, 28 to 34 age group. She's African American from Atlanta, Georgia. Uh-oh. Summary of the issue. I found him. Now what? So I was watching this guy on a Pop the Balloon dating challenge. Oh, I saw that. Well, I saw like a clip. I didn't realize it was a real show. I thought people were just clowning. So a dating challenge, all the women were being so mean to this guy, which really shocked me because I thought he was a catch. I couldn't stop thinking about him afterwards, and I kept wondering why they passed up somebody like that. Eventually, I found his YouTube and Instagram. He doesn't have a huge following and still seems to be single, which made me feel kind of lucky to have come across him. Now, I'm very feminine and I don't believe in making the first move, but I love to connect with him somehow without seeming like I'm coming on too strong or trying to shoot my shot. Deb, I know it might sound a little crazy. I swear I'm not a stalker. You sure know what I was thinking. But he really seems like a rare kind of guy. And honestly, I'm confident that he'd find me attractive. Most guys do. But still, I want to keep it classy and not be too forward. How would you approach this if you were my shoes? Oh, girl. Well, see, I don't ask men out. I do what I've always trained my young ladies here to do, the breadcrumb technique. You lead them like a little birdie. He gonna go pecking along at the little crumbs you lead right to where you are. So in a situation like this, you got his YouTube and Instagram. So you go on his Insta and you send him a message and you say, I just, I watched whatever that broadcast was, and I was really shocked by how the women, rejected you. I mean, maybe there's something that we can't see in the audience, but from my perspective, I thought you seem like a great guy. So I'm so sorry that happened to you. May you find whatever you're looking for or something like that. Or you could just stop and, I'm so sorry that happened to you and sign your name. Now, one of two things could happen. Either he is dating somebody now and it's just, he's on the low about it, so he's not gonna really it's not on his social media, or he's gonna, if he has any sense, we're gonna assume he's a mature dude, you in the 28 to 34 age group, so we're gonna assume he's, somewhere in there. He will know that that's a breadcrumb, and he will write you back and say, "Thank you. Yeah, I was a little shocked too, blah, blah." So y'all go conversation back and forth. And then he, at some point, should have enough sense to say, well, I would like to, have a conversation with you on the phone. Is that okay with you? And then you gonna say yes. And then you gonna give him your phone number. And then y'all gonna talk. That's what you gonna do. Oh, so you know what? I've had a okay, this is embarrassing. My daughter told me about Discord. I don't even know how many years ago, and I set up a Discord over there. Do you think I have used it? I looked at it the other day. I was like, "Oh my!" So I'm gonna try to figure out how to connect it to this stream. I got to figure out how to do the technical end. But yeah, I might start doing. My daughter says, "Oh, Discord's very popular. Discord, Discord, Discord." I'm like, whatever. I have my hands full just trying to keep up with my clients and this channel on YouTube. But we'll see. So that's what I would do. It's not, you say you're very feminine and you don't believe in making the first move. What you gonna do? You already made like 20 first moves hunting the dude down like a damn stalker. So I mean, that fantasy that you're not gonna make the first move, that went up in smoke a long time ago. Let's be real. You're gonna reach out, like I said. It's not gonna be an invitation, it's just gonna be a conversation. You're gonna let him, if he wants to ask you for your number, or you all both in Atlanta and he gonna, ask you out or whatever, you let it come from him. Question number 5. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group. She's European from Calgary, Canada. The male in question is 35 to 41 age group. Same issue. I cannot sleep in the bed with my boyfriend anymore. I can't do it no more. My boyfriend and I have been together for over a year. We sleep at his place 90% of the time, and I'm slated to move in a few months, but he is destroying my sleep. Well, why would you move in with somebody that you can't sleep with? He is a TV sleeper. He needs a TV on to go to bed, even if what's on is just background noise. I am not a TV sleeper. Not only does the noise keep me up, but I can see the light and flashes even when my eyes are closed. His compromise is setting the sleep timer. Our fight about the sleep timer is once he sets the timer, he'll set the remote down on his night table, but I always ask him to put it somewhere I can reach it too. The reason I like having the remote within my reach is because every single night he falls asleep immediately and the sleep timer won't go off for at least another hour. So that's another hour of time me not being able to sleep because of the TV. Every night he insists on sleeping with the TV blasting, even though it keeps me awake. And every night I'm the one turning the TV off. Oh, my cousin was like that, but I couldn't say nothing when I was there recovering from my stroke. She's a TV sleeper, and that and just loud. Oh. Even worse, he basically kicks me out of bed every night. When we go to bed, he is on his side and I am on my side. For story purposes, let's say that we each have our 50% of the queen size bed. But without fail, when he falls asleep, he somehow makes it so that he's got at least 80% of the bed. He always repositions himself in his sleep so that he just pushes and pushes me. No matter how much I push back, he does not budge. And when I go out of my way to shake him awake, he gets frustrated. He is also a big limb flailer, so even if he has left me enough room for my body, he's kicking and punching me. He loves to leave his arms sprawled out so that essentially just lays on top of me all night, or with his arm bent and his elbow just into my side all night. Again, anytime I try to get him to stop, I'm the asshat for waking him up. When we discussed this, his reasoning is try being 6'3" and fitting in that bed comfortably. It's not an excuse in my opinion because we've shared beds with people even bigger. I've shared beds with people even bigger and they haven't kicked me out of the bed. We do plan to get a bigger bed when we move. Hopefully that will help. But in the meantime, every night I'm left awake either because of the television, because I'm being punched and pushed in the night, or because I'm literally falling off the bed with no room left. I always wake up and sleep on the couch, and honestly, I'm getting tired of it. Not only because it ruins my sleep in my morning, but because I believe my boyfriend should not feel bad for me. I see he should feel bad for me, and he doesn't. What is a good way to approach him about this? The way to approach this is to pack your stuff and leave. Well, okay, I can't even date a man who snores. So you getting beat, you getting assaulted, pushed to the floor, and blast your ears blasted with a loud TV. And you taking all that, don't you know that there's like your health is going to be affected by this because you're not getting proper rest. This is not good. You have to leave this clown alone. Ain't no dick that good in this world. I'm sorry. I just leave him alone and go find you somebody else where you can get some sleep. Preferably be single for a few months and just stay at your house by yourself and catch up on your rest. I can't sleep with the TV on. One thing, like I had suggested, my cousin, she wanted noise, right? So I suggested, they have those apps that you put on your phone where it plays like rain or jungle, the little animals tweeting in the background and all that kind of stuff. Or I don't know, just it has a bunch of different little things that you could do. And so I suggested that she try that, right? She won't do it. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, I can't. And it's like, you don't really go into a deep REM sleep when you're staying awake listening like that. You have to, your body needs to completely shut down. Your brain has to completely shut down for you to do all the rejuvenation work that you need to be done. The brain needs to rejuvenate itself too. So, people who sleep with the TV on and stuff like that, that's not good for your health. To retrain yourself to be silent, listen to nothing, let your brain rest. Let your body rest. Let your brain and your body work together to do what it needs to do to heal you, remove toxins, repair muscles and cells and stuff like that. That's what's supposed to be happening while you sleep. And if you never go into a deep sleep, that's not really happening for you. Not good long term. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Black from Edison, New Jersey. Oh, I wonder where that is. Summary of issue. Is this going too fast or am I emotionally unavailable? Yeah, there you go. See, that was 8 to 10 hours. So, yeah, so your whole night you sleep, you be sleeping sound as heck. Thanks for telling me that, Giggles. I will look for it for myself. She says, I recently went on a date with a really sweet guy I met online, and things went well enough for him to take me out on a second date. But he started calling me his and nudged at making things official. He really likes me and says it all the time. He also said this is his first time something has stuck. He was very touchy, not necessarily inappropriately, and wanted to hold hands and even kiss me, which I didn't do because I barely know him. On the first date, I found out that we share a lot of the same values and interests, which is obviously important to me. And he was really, really sweet. But people tend to put up a front when first meeting someone because they want to make a good first impression, which he even admitted to. On the second date, he even told me he's considering deleting the app we use because he likes me so much. Now, I like him too, but we met 4 days ago. I told him I really wanted to take things slow and get to know him more before putting a label on it. And then he said okay and asked to kiss me. I don't want to kiss someone I barely know. He also wants to call me every night, and I'm like not talking to anyone sometimes. I've been on my own for a while and I love that peace. Talking to him is nice, but every night, yeah, he's trying to make it seem like y'all are in a committed relationship and you his woman. That's why he already told you what time it is. That's how he would treat somebody who was his girlfriend, right? But you're not. Now I'm kind of stressed because I'm looking for something super serious, which I told him about. Oh, you dummy. What you do that for? But if I fall in love, then I fall in love. And I don't like the pressure of all of this. I've also been love bombed in the past, and I've jumped into every relationship because I feel kind of pressured to. I need time to figure out if I like someone and how I feel because I'm a very deep person and I can't do serious relationships without knowing what I'm getting myself into. But since this guy is so nice but intense and he ticks all the boxes except the very big box of taking things slow, I'm wondering if I'm the problem. I finally met a really nice guy that's respectful and I feel odd about it. The thing is, I don't really know who he is yet, and he doesn't really truly know me either. I haven't even been my true self around him yet, so I feel like he just wants to lock me down and figure out the rest later. Deb, he doesn't even know my last name. Wait, what? I also don't want to be locked down, even though my parents like him from what they've heard. I'm a university student living at home, and they told me not date around in case he sees me or something. But that's the thing. I'm single. I'm not taking. I should be able to do as I please. And how do I know if he's right for me anyway? If I don't even know what else is out there, it's like knowing only one kind of flavor of ice cream all your life and it's your favorite because it's all you know. That's right. I'm young. I want to party. I want to have fun and meet guys and go on dates and figure out what I like and don't like and just go with the flow. I've been in a relationship since high school until this past year, and all of them sucked because I was always in a rush. So hearing him call me this his girl kind of gave me the ick. We just met and it sounds eerily similar to past mistakes. He hasn't even seen my arms or my tattoo or heard my true laugh. How does he know he likes me this much if he doesn't even know who I am? Everything he says matches with what I want in someone, but saying things is easy. I could say I'm the leader of a tribe in the Amazon, and that wouldn't be true just because I said it. I don't know. Do you think things are moving too fast, or am I emotionally unavailable? You have a different you have different goals. He sounds like he wants to like get to the relationship as quick as possible. And guys like this scare me because they're too possessive. And they want to just, own you, possess you and dominate all your time. So see, by calling you every night, he knows you're home, right? And you're not talking to nobody else because you're on the phone with him. So probably you go to sleep. Well, he hasn't love bombing yet because she's only seen him twice. But he's definitely headed in that direction. But she putting the brakes on because she's not, she's been down this road before. So she's not like, your typical young girl who doesn't know. She does know. And that's why she's like, no, this don't look right. And you're being very cautious and concerned about how he's approaching this. So I'm going to say this to you. This is an excellent analysis of how you feel and your history and everything. You're on the right track. I'm proud of you actually for you to be so young. What I'm going to suggest is this: you call him, or when he calls you for this nighttime conversation thing, you're gonna say, "I've been thinking about something. I want to tell you what I think." It's like, "You're moving too fast. I'm feeling pressured. I don't want to feel pressured. I told you I'm not looking for anything serious. Yet you're trying to like put a label on me, and having you call you every night like we're in a relationship. I don't like it. I need some space from you. So if I see you in a couple of weeks, that'll be great. But right now, don't call me and give me some space while I think about this, because there's something about this is giving me, um, it's not really settling well with me. You don't even know who I am, and yet you claiming that you really like me. You don't know anything about me. So it's, your level of interest is not matching with our level of involvement. So I'm going to take some time back. I'm going to back you up, take some time to myself. And that's all you have to tell him. If he have to like it? Nope. And what you do, you can block him, because you can always unblock him later if you really do want to talk to him. I don't really see any reason to, though. I mean, it sounds like, you guys could have something going, and it could just be, let's see if you say how old he is. Hold on a second. Sometimes guys get to a certain age, and they're just ready. No, you don't say how old he is. You say how old you are. You're in the 22 to 27 age group. So, I mean, he could be 28 to 34 age group, a few years older. And sometimes, they meet the woman that they want to be with, and it's all systems go from, day one. That's it. That's the one. They start telling their parents, "Oh, I met the woman I'm gonna marry." They don't tell her, but they start telling other people, and it's just, it could be that as well. But anyway, you're not there. You're not ready. You're not on that page. You're not even in that book. So, he's moving too fast, and he's not, as they say, reading the room. Most dudes who have skills with women would know better than to do this. They would approach cautiously and judge your response to the stuff that they do and the time they spend with you. They would make sure they spend time with you, but they wouldn't be, saying all these crazy things that make your alarm bells go off. So you can tell he don't really have no skills with women, because he would not be coming off like this. These dudes, that's the thing about it, they get so anxious. They get too anxious. It's like, damn, just don't y'all know how to play it cool? Make the woman, I mean, be mysterious. Make the woman, be thinking about you and wondering about you and stuff, instead of being all in her face and hunting her down like damn, big hunter or something. It just is very off-putting. It doesn't give the woman any room to approach you in baby steps to where she's comfortable. You just come rushing in and demanding shit. That don't never work. Yeah, Jarisha, this is overly familiar. Exactly. He don't have shit to be familiar with, because he don't even, like you said, he don't even know her last name. He don't know nothing about her. He hasn't seen her text. He don't know nothing about this woman. Not really. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say to you. Okay, that's what you do. I agree with you that he's trying to move too fast. Question number 7. We got 18 questions today. We will be back here on Thursday at the same time, 6 p.m. sharp. That's on the Pacific Coast time. That's 9 if you're on the east side. This young lady is 22 to 27. She's Caucasian from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Males also 22 to 27. Summary of issue: my boyfriend does not want to move closer to my family in the future. We've been together for 2 years now. Genuinely, he is the most amazing person I've ever met. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's the man I will marry and build a family with. He has shown me what a healthy relationship is. Okay, well, you only 22 to 27. How many people could you have really met? But let's move on. We are currently living in the city that we both went to college in. So, Milwaukee. I met him shortly before I graduated, so he decided the decision to stay out here 5 hours from my hometown was easy. This city is his hometown. He grew up about 20 minutes away from where we live. It's wonderful being close to his family, especially because his brother just had a baby. So, this is his first niece. My boyfriend's family immigrated here when he was only 2 or 3, so their family here is very small. It's only him, his brother, sister-in-law, and niece, and his parents. I love the city, but long term, especially once we are building a family and I'm pregnant, I cannot fathom being this far from my family. Not to mention, my family is much, much larger than his, and they all live back home. I mentioned this to him, and he gets a bit closed off, saying he doesn't want to move far from his family since there aren't that many of them here in America. He especially doesn't want to live so far from his baby niece. The conversation goes nowhere, and it usually ends up with let's decide on it when we absolutely have to. It's upsetting to me to not know what our plans will be for the future in terms of location. I've always been very close with my family, and I too have a little cousin I'd love to watch grow up. I have two siblings as well, and my sister has always been my best friend. I love having independence away from them, but I do miss them and can't imagine having a child without their grandparents, aunt, and uncles around. Not to mention my grandma and many more aunts, uncles, and cousins back home. I don't know what to do. I love this man with all my heart, and breaking up is not an option. Well, it's gonna have to be. 'Cause, you can't have a commuter marriage. You tripping, girl. You living in a fantasy world. I've just lived out of the city for going on 6 years. I've already missed out on so many family experiences back home, and eventually I'd like to move back closer to my family as it's been so long. What's the best way to go about this situation? How can we find some kind of solution to this? The solution is you're gonna break up. He gonna stay there and find some woman who's local, and you gonna go back to where your folks are and find a dude that's out there. That's what you're gonna do. Hey, DP, I mean, I don't know what you expect me to say. It's like I think what you're looking for is some kind of magical words where you can make this guy do what you want him to do. It's not going to happen. Already told you. I mean, he's an immigrant. All his people are there in that city, and there's not that many, less than two handfuls. So why do you think he would pack up and leave his very small little circle of support to go somewhere with you where you gonna have a whole gang of folks and he will have nobody? Where they do that at? So, what you haven't done though is accepted the reality that by the time you get ready to get married and have kids and stuff, this relationship is gonna go up in smoke. It's not going unless his family moves, all of them move to where your family is, then that's the only way it's gonna happen. But you keep nagging him about it, he's gonna dump you. Because you're trying to make him pick between his family that he came over here with, and who knows what struggles and stuff they had back home before they came here. So they're very, intertwined people. It's not going to happen. What you want is not going to happen. So the sooner you start accepting it and start figuring out what you're going to do and when you're going to move back to where your folks are, the better for you. You're just wasting time. Let's move on to question number 8. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group. She's Black from Naperville, Illinois. The male in question is 28 to 34. Also, he's younger. Summary of issue. The guy I dated did a bait and switch, and now I can't trust. I am 39 and I dated a guy who's 30. What you do that for? 30-year-old men are stupid. Who said he wanted a life partner and children and matched what I was looking for. We dated for 2 months, and then when I asked how he was feeling about it, he said he wasn't looking for anything serious, doesn't know what to do with his life anymore, doesn't know what his job should be, and feels overwhelmed by life, but still wants me in his life for some reason. When I called him out, I said, but in the beginning, you said you wanted a life partner. And he said, I thought I wanted those things, but now I don't think so. I basically don't trust many guys who say they're looking for something serious because they might change their mind at any point at the drop of a hat. Hell, I don't trust much of what they say at all right now because of this guy. I need time to heal from this. But at the same time, after taking some time for myself, I'm looking for someone who says what he means and means what he says and isn't fickle. How can I prevent something like this from happening again in the future? Why are you 39 and so stupid? How are you on the downstroke to 40 and this naive? This is just amazing to me. I done told you, you don't ever tell men what kind of relationship you looking for, okay? You never give them that information because whatever you say, they want to get the panties. That's what that is coming right up. Now, you don't have any proof that that's what he wanted. You definitely don't have any proof that that's what he wants with you. But see, you done painted this picture where y'all living happily ever after with, based on some words that he said. That's why I said at 39, your way of handling this is real sus. Sis, come on now. You can't be this stupid. This is kind of embarrassing. at 39 that you would still be acting like this. He didn't do a bait and switch. He just threw out some game and you bit. That's what that was. You know, they're gonna say that he was looking for a life partner and children and all that, but that don't mean he wanted it with a woman who's 39 years old. Okay, did you ever think of that? I mean, yeah, you can still have kids, but I mean, unless you got married and they had the kids like right away, you know, you're gonna be pushing mid 40s. It's harder to get pregnant. Not saying it's impossible, but it's harder. And then the amount of birth defects and issues, you know, kids be having issues. He might not want to be bothered with all that. He want to have his kids with somebody who's younger. That mitigates some of those risks. Like I said, it's not impossible, but you have to be realistic. The risks go up of different things happening with the kids. So I that's the problem I'm having with it. He said that he wanted those things, but that don't mean he wanted it with you. And that's the part where, you know, that's where dating comes in. So you don't pay any attention to stuff like that. You spend time with the person, you get to know the person, and then you determine if this person is right for you. So you put all this stock on some stuff he said when he didn't really know each other yet. That's why I'm like, you tripping. You tripping. Okay, I have to show, oh, this is a perfect time to show my shirt. What you not finna do, okay, see, that's what I'm saying to you. What you not finna do is be paying attention to what men tell you when you just met them and painting a picture with yourself in there living happily ever after based on some chump words at 39. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. All right, let's move on to question number 9. This is a female. She's 18 to 21. She's a Latina from McAllen, Texas. The male is 22 to 27 and he's white. Summary issue. My fiance, how you gonna have a fiance at 18 to 21? Broke serious boundaries on a boys trip and now I'm questioning everything. I'm 21 and in a really difficult situation and I would love advice on how to move forward in a healthy way or if I even should. My 22-year-old fiance recently went on a boys trip to Barcelona. Before he left, we had a calm conversation and agreed on 2 boundaries for the trip. Number 1, no clubbing. And number 2, no excessive drinking for safety reasons. How you gonna send a young man, 22 years old, to Barcelona and he ain't gonna go in the club? You was tripping. Okay. He agreed this wasn't forced, it was a mutual understanding before he booked anything. But while he was away, he went to a massive nightclub, drank heavily, and was unreachable for several hours. When I brought it up, he dismissed my feelings, claiming that it wasn't a club and said I was overreacting. He also allowed his friends to send me voice notes saying that he wouldn't cheat. I never accused him of that. Yes, but that's by the way you trying to put him in a choke chain like a dog. That's what you was implying. That's the implications of your controlling statements was that you was trying to keep him from being around some other woman and cheating on you. You think people are stupid? Little girl, 18 to 21. What's bothered me even more than the clubbing is the way he reacted after bullet. She put bullet points. He keeps asking me why I had those boundaries. He accuses me of being controlling. He compares our relationship to what's normal according to his friends. He says I don't trust him just because I had the boundary in the first place. He's right on all accounts. This is really out of character for him, and I'm genuinely shaken. I feel emotionally dismissed, confused, and hurt. Dad, we've been together for 4 years and living together for 3. I still love him, and I don't want to jump to anything, but I also don't want to ignore real issues or red flags. How do I know if this is a one time misstep or something deeper? I feel disrespected and unsure about our future. Yeah, you should feel that way, not disrespected because um, he didn't do anything to disrespect you. He's just living his life as a 22-year-old man on a trip to Barcelona. What you trying to do is make him be in the hotel by himself on the phone with you so you could feel secure and safe that he's not in there. He could have another woman laying on the bed right beside him while you sitting up there with him on the phone. So you never thought of that. It's better to be out in the nightclub. There's no mattresses there. If he at home with you in the hotel, you know, it's not like he couldn't bring somebody in there with him. So I mean, I really don't understand. See, when women get like this and want to control men, I don't even understand what it is you're trying to do. All you're doing is pissing him off. There's not a man in this world that wants to be controlled by your ass. Okay, like you have a baby, you have a puppy, they might be down with that, but you got a grown ass man. He don't want you telling him what to do and trying to limit him and put him in a choke chain. That's not how you handle relationships. Open your hand and give people freedom. If they do the right thing and treat you right, then you stay in a relationship. If you open your hand and give them freedom and they dog you out and disrespect you and hurt you and lie and cheat to you on you and stuff like that, then you close your hand and you go in the other direction. It's very simple. You cannot try to control people by telling them what to do. It doesn't work. It never works. All they do is get pissed and don't want to be around you. So you keep up with this behavior, and he's going to end this relationship. I don't know what you're dating somebody for 4 years for anyway. That don't make no sense to me. And the fact that you say this is out of character for him, most likely he's turned a corner in his maturity level, and he realized by being with his friends, his girlfriends who just did not try to, check on him 55 million times a day and all this kind of stuff, that he is living a very constrained existence with you. And so he's asking questions which he should have asked before he even left. Like, when you start talking about these rules, these boundaries, he should have said, well, why do you think that we should have these boundaries? What is it you're trying to do here? He should have asked you that then. So he could have told you, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do on my trip. And then you can do about it. Don't try to tell me what to do. And then packed his suitcase and went. Yeah, she just trying to just control, dude. I mean, and this is international control. They're going from where would she say? Were they in somewhere in Texas? Yeah, McAllen, Texas. So he went on a trip. Probably graduated from college and went on a trip with his boys to Barcelona because that's about the age group that they're in. It's probably that and the time of year and stuff. You know what I mean? It's probably a college graduation trip. Question number 10. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's black from Denver, Colorado. Summary of issue. A guy fell asleep while I was on my way to see him. What does that mean? Oh, the old I was sleep trick. Oh my God. Ladies, how many of you, that's right, Sliver. How many of you have had a guy who pulled that stunt? I was asleep. Oh, I fell asleep. I've used it myself, so I can't even be mad. But so let's see what happened here. But yeah, you guys tell who else has experienced the I fell asleep. That's why I didn't call you. I fell asleep. That's why I didn't answer the phone. I fell asleep. That's why I didn't answer the door. I fell asleep. That's why I didn't show up at your house. Who has experienced that? Please share. So let's see. I've been friends with this guy for years, and we get along really well, have great communication. We laugh a lot. We can still have serious talks. We went maybe a year without speaking because our lives went in separate directions, but we recently reconnected in a potentially romantic sense. He's been very sweet. He tells me how attractive I am and listens to me. We ended up hooking up once, and I almost expected him to ghost me, but he didn't. He came back strong or something, and maybe this could actually be something. He asked me to come over last night, and we're texting the whole 35-minute drive to his house. Hands free, don't come for me. When I get there, so why don't you just have a conversation? What is this texting stuff? When I get there and he doesn't answer the text or calls, I wait about 10 minutes and then I left. He tried calling and sending apology texts 4 hours later, but I was asleep. I spoke to him this morning and basically told him to kick rocks, but he's trying to convince me that it was an accident and he would like to make it up to me. My ex did this to me 3 times in our 2-year relationship, and I had to drive an hour to see him. I have some trauma around this because I find it incredibly disrespectful, rude, and inconsiderate of my time, energy, and effort. So, do I give this guy another shot, or is this indicative of some other nonsense? Just to clarify, I use the expression kick rocks to keep the story shorter. What I did tell him was that I'm happy he slept. He purposely keeps himself awake, citing I don't need that much sleep. So I constantly tell him that he should try to sleep. I told him that it's okay that he should fall asleep. I'm not mad, but that it just wasn't for me. That I felt like it was disrespectful and he crossed the boundary. I told him I didn't want to talk to him for a bit because I was starting to get mad. And I told him I didn't accept his excuses and that I would have to think about it. I later apologized for getting upset. So, okay, so in the situation, you fell asleep for, was it for real, Diana? See, my fell asleep I was wide awake, but I was somewhere I shouldn't have been. But, what can I say? I turned my phone off, said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was asleep." I passed out. But you know what's interesting though is you find it to be an excuse, but right here in the letter, you're talking about how he stays awake and he doesn't get much sleep. And he purposely keeps himself awake by saying he doesn't need much sleep. And I constantly tell him that he should try to sleep. So to me, that lends a certain credibility to his story that I might not give other people. You guys see what I'm talking about here? It was, and you don't say like what kind of work he does and why he tries to stay up. You know, what is this? What's he think he's missing? I used to be like that when I was younger, in my 20s. Oh my God, I would nap. I would go out to the yard, right, sit, lean back against a tree, but you got to put something down, make sure them fire ants don't be getting you in Texas. Some fire ants ain't no joke. So you put this little thing down, you sit back and lean against the tree, and I'd cross my arms like this and be for about 10 minutes, jump up and go to class. And I do that. I used to do that often during the day. And so I trained myself to, fall asleep pretty much on command during those days. And because I had to be awake for the parties, had to be awake for the fun. I couldn't miss no excitement. I didn't want to miss class either. So I had to work that little system out. But I don't know, this I have a hard time with with being too harsh on him, and because of this, what you acknowledge right here. So it makes his falling asleep actually very feasible. In the case I'm talking about, these clowns working some part-time job, and they wasn't falling asleep because of exhaustion. They was falling asleep because it was a convenient way to be dogging somebody out, you know. But I mean, why were you going to his house anyway? Why can't he come to yours? Do you have roommates or something? He lives by himself, so y'all need more privacy. I mean, there has to be a reason for this. I'm not. You left that part out. But I'm gonna say, give him the benefit of the doubt. In this case, you like him that much. You've been knowing him all this time, all these years. Uh, but if he does it again, question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's African American from Peoria, Illinois. Summary of issue. My girlfriend's family constantly disrespects me, and I'm close to snapping. How do I keep my relationship without losing my sanity? You good. I wouldn't want that relationship. My girlfriend is 23 and I'm 25, and we've been together for 8 years. Wait, what? We started dating in high school and have had a strong relationship ever since. I genuinely love her and plan to marry her someday. But the biggest problem in our relationship is her family, and recently it's getting harder to deal with. Her dad barely acknowledges me. He often acts like he doesn't even remember my name. He might not if he got early onset dementia or Alzheimer's. Her grandmother is worse. She doesn't treat me like family at all. She constantly makes snide remarks and goes out of her way to belittle me or make me feel inadequate. No matter what I do, it's never good enough for her. Ooh, yeah, see, DP, girl, I'm trying to think if I was a man. I mean, I wouldn't take that shit as a woman, but I mean, especially if I was a male and somebody was acting like that with me. Oh, I can't even imagine what kind of fool I would act. That clown nose would pop on my face, and I would proceed to be a circus. Okay, let's see what else he's dealing with. Okay, the grandmother makes snide remarks and belittles him. Okay. Lately, I've been going through a really hard time. I've been unemployed and trying every day to get back on my feet. I'm still managing to cover my rent, car payments, and bills through side work and whatever I can find. But instead of being supportive, her family uses this to insult me or bring me down whenever I'm around. This isn't just a one off thing. Her grandmother has a history of treating other men who try to be a part of the family the same way. So I know it's not entirely personal, but it still hurts. Oh, that old dried up, crunchy bitch. What bothers me even more is the double standard. Her brother's girlfriend openly disrespects him and brags about being the breadwinner, but somehow she's treated like family and praised. I've never cheated or mistreated my girlfriend. I've been loyal and respectful, and I just don't understand why I'm always the one getting torn down. Oh, my girlfriend has spoken to her family. Okay, I was just getting ready to just wondering that. My girlfriend has spoken to her family about it more than once, but nothing ever really changes. Now we're about to go on vacation with her family, and honestly, I'm dreading it. What you doing that for? I feel like I'm at my breaking point. I don't want to explode or say something I'll regret, but I'm tired of being disrespected and treated like an outsider. What I want to keep my relationship and build a future with my girlfriend, but I also need to protect my mental and emotional health. I'm trying to figure out how to handle her family without damaging our relationship or losing myself in the process. Um, this is hard because she is not willing to leave their asses alone. See, especially for them old people, I'd be like, you better remember this shit because when you need somebody to come and change your diaper, I'm gonna let your ass sit in that shit and piss until you get a rash because the disrespect that you showing my man. He would be there helping me, but you know what? I'll just be sitting there looking at you because you don't know how to fucking act and you don't know how to talk to people. And that would put the fear of Jesus into it because nothing scares old people worse than telling them you're gonna put them in a home or you're gonna let them sit in some poopy ass pissy diapers. That just sends them to the moon. I would say stuff like that to them. And you think so you're gonna have now I'm gonna take your false teeth and you're gonna have to figure out how to eat some food with them gums. That's what I'm gonna do to you. And then as soon as the police get ready to come, I'll give you your teeth back. And you're gonna say, I must tell people that you get dementia and that you had your teeth the whole time, you just misplaced them and didn't know where they were, and I found them for you. That's what I'm gonna do. And I would just do all kind of stuff, just fuck with her head. And the grandfather too, because they getting old. And that's when you should start putting the fear of Jesus into them and saying, then don't think about it. It's like, when you need somebody, you're going to be reaching for the medications and stuff. I'm going to hold them just out of reach and just wait for you to die. That's what I'm going to do. Saying, tell your ass, go to the light, bitch. Go to the light. See, I don't know. I'm just too evil. I just could see myself doing some ratchet shit like that and not even giving a second thought. So, and the fact that the brother um, tolerates it from the grandmother. See, y'all need to have a conversation and start getting your testosterone up. Yeah, her family is toxic. That's why I'm like, he wants to keep the relationship with the girl, but she talked to quote talk to them, but what does that mean? They don't have any repercussions for it. She's still there. She still talks to him. She still spends time with him. She still calls them her family. So, you got to realize, dude, she ain't in your corner like what you thinking. I would tell all my relatives off. Not for I mean, don't anybody that I bring here, whether it's my man or not, don't you ever talk to my people that I bring up in here like that. And it could be a female friend. A coworker. I don't really care who. Their behavior is highly inappropriate and disrespectful. Girl, that's what I'm saying. Because I'll be sitting there. You guys haven't really seen me when I get in that mode when I'm sitting there. And actually, I do start doing this little rocking thing because I'm calculating how I'm getting ready to fuck you over. So I'm thinking I'm doing this kind of thing here. And my friend told me that my eyes dart around. She kind of, imitates it. Your eyes be going like all over the place. And I said, probably because my brain, that's is matching my brain activity. Because I'm plotting your demise. And when I stop rocking and stand up, it's over for you. It's over. Because then this gets started. So it would be all bad. Yeah, but that's how I fuck over. That's how I always plan to fuck over old people. But I never really got the opportunity because everybody in my family knows better. Question number 12. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's from Sheffield in the UK. Summary issue. Two of my friends want to have an intervention for another one of our friends about their drinking, and I think it's a terrible idea. Do people still do that? I remember that show used to be on TV called Intervention, and there was a meme. Remember that black dude? He cried like a moose. That sounded was, and people had a meme about it. That shit was funny. Anyway, okay, so this is the deal. Two of my friends, they're both females in their mid 30s, want to have a quote intervention for another one of our friends, and I think it's a terrible idea. For one, our friend does drink more than he should, but not close to alcoholism level. He's younger than us, just 27, and I would say he drinks maybe 6 to 8 drinks every weekend or two at a party, bar, club, and maybe once every, like, I don't know, 2 months, he might get more hammered. Again, more than ideal, sure, but alcoholism requires an intervention? Not even really close. I would say 95% of people I know who drank that much at 27 just phased it out as they got older. And the other 5% who became alcoholics had serious problems in their lives. The two friends who brought this idea up barely drink. They are both very health focused people and always have been. Their idea of what constitutes problematic drinking is very different from other people's. So the bar for them is way down here. One of them is in school for art therapy, and I think that's sort of what set this off. The other friend is just sort of following them. They're basically best friends. The art therapy student brought it up in a group chat with this whole essay about how bad alcoholism is and how friends need to be there to help their friends and all this therapy speak stuff. One friend responded by saying it was going too far and probably not a good idea. And she wrote an essay on the therapy speak way about how she understands it's uncomfortable to do interventions, but you have to do it. It was way, way more than that. Like we were friends with you in our 20s when most of us drank like him or even worse. We all ended up fine. And now you think it's too much? I've talked to a few friends and most of them agree it's just way too much. Let me assure you, Deb, that he does not get belligerent at all and is a responsible person at his job and all of that. Their concerns are mostly about his health and potential risk of addiction in the future. How do I tell them this is a bad idea? I know them the best and the longest, and as far as I know, nobody else in our friend group has agreed to be a part of this intervention. Okay, so that's the last one. So you asking me, what do you do? What you do is the friend that they want to do the intervention for, tell them. Tell the little 27-year-old dude what's going on and say these two, they want to just, they want to what's the word? Bomb you or surprise. There's a term for it when you shock somebody with a surprise. I can't think of it right now. But they want to do that to you and do an intervention about your drinking. And I told them it's a bad idea, but I want you to know so when they show up with this nonsense, you'll be prepared with what you're gonna say to them. Because I don't want you to get, bum rush. Thank you. They don't, I don't want you to be shocked by it and surprised. That's what I would do. I would be like, boop, let me tell you what's going on. And I would just, yes, ambush. That's the term I was thinking about actually. Yeah, because they just going, they're gonna just like descend on dude and take him out, catch him off guard. He could be defenseless. So you gonna remove that element of surprise by telling it, so he can get himself together. And what he might do if he's got any kind of cojones, like if it was me and I was the 27-year-old dude, I would pick up the phone and get both of them bitches on the phone in a three-way and cuss them out. He's like, don't be trying to intervention on me. I had a mama, and it wasn't you. Tell me what the fuck I do. I'm a grown ass man. I will drink what the hell I want to drink, when I want to drink it, the way I want to drink it, and as much as I want to drink. And you not gonna say nothing. You gonna like it. Well, I'm just saying, like, if it was me, that's how that would be the response. I would be to do the preemptive strike. I would shut that shit down before they even got started. It's like this is gonna you insist on doing this shit. Be prepared for me to cuss you the fuck out. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna cuss you out, and I'm not gonna stop until you're in tears. And I'm gonna tell you all about yourself, about how your ass didn't have no problem sucking down as much alcohol as possible in your 20s when you were my age. But now all of a sudden you want to be holding you down and on this goddamn seaweed and wheatgrass little stick here, and think everybody's supposed to be like you. That's why I used to not hang out with vegans, because they just was crazy. It's like how people are just they get they you trying to eat your little burger and here they go, oh my God, some animal died because of that and stuff. I'm like, so I mean, a lot of people are. It's not because they don't like meat they stop eating it. They do it for health reasons. They got some cholesterol or something going on, and so they have to stop eating so much meat. That does not mean that they like it or that they're doing it because it's a Bambi or some shit like y'all doing. You when you have to be vegan, you have to do it, for the animals. No, the fuck you don't do not. I used to get in arguments with them all the time. I said, these white folks are stupid as hell. Let me just I just couldn't stand it. So that's why I started my own group on Facebook called What Black Vegans Eat, because I couldn't stand it. I could not be in there with them because they was always trying to, regulate on somebody and control and tell you what you're doing and how wrong you are and all this shit because you wasn't doing it for the little beasties. I'm like, no, I mean, the end result is the same, though. I mean, why does it matter why someone's not doing it? The end result is the animals aren't getting eating, so shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Sit down somewhere. But no, that wasn't good enough. They wanted you to have the same, mindset that they did. Because, that white is right thing. You guys, we've been dealing with this shit our whole lives. They think whatever way they think and believe and stuff is the only way, it's the right way, and it has to be that way. And if you think differently, then you're wrong. And that's what I ran up against. I'm like, I can't do this no more. So I started, what black vegans eat. They got really popular. And a lot of white people used to come in there too because they were sick of their asses as well. I was like, man, this is crazy. It's craziness. They try to make it one, but it's like, I don't know if it was really a religion. It was more like they had this cult mentality, like they were worshiping him at the shrine of the pig pen and the cow manure. So I mean, this just was weird. It's just crazy. You can't say nothing about I had some bacon. They're like, oh my God. Even if it was vegan bacon, you made with egg, because I used to make some out of eggplant or something. And but you just say bacon, they don't see what's in front of it. Eggplant, bacon, carrot, bacon. No, you can make the bacon out of a whole bunch of different stuff. But it was crazy. Y'all just don't know. They tried to put me through some changes. Had me at the protest. Psh, I ain't protesting shit. Because it's gonna mean that I have to go stand up and walk around and be hot. I'm not doing it. Question number 13. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's mixed race from Andover in the UK. Male 35 to 41. Summary of issue. How do I bring up finances in a new relationship without sounding transactional to my boyfriend? Transactional. Okay. I've been exclusive with him for about a month. Both of us want a life partner. He makes more or less twice my income, seems financially stable, but he's cautious about money. He's often hesitant to pick up the tab, yet spends really big on luxury items like sports cars and watches. Oh, so he spends a lot for himself. That's what you're saying without really saying it. I'm a single mom dealing with legal expenses, and I want to make sure we're financially compatible long term. How do I bring up the topic of money without sounding transactional or making things awkward this early on? So you've been exclusive for a month. I am in my mid 30s and he's turning 40, and we've been exclusive for a month. Okay, you already said that. We both share the same goal. Okay, you already said that too. We live in a high cost of living area. Okay, Andover. I'm a single mom to a young child, make about 120K. Early in a new career, I started after my divorce and rent a home. A large portion of my income goes towards ongoing legal fees for custody issues. Unfortunately, my ex files something in court almost every year, and as a result, my monthly legal expenses average around $2,000. Wow. My boyfriend is mid-career and makes about 250,000. He rents a house from his parents at market rate. He's mentioned before that he doesn't want a quote gold digger, and many of his stories about bad dates center around women expecting him to pay at restaurants when they weren't actually interested in him. So I picked up that he may be more frugal or sensitive about finances. So fucking what? Just stay your ass at home and be by yourself. I don't want to hear about some other bitch and what problems you had with him, cheap ass. That said, last week he told me that he buys an expensive sports car every 2 years. He currently owns a really nice one because he gets bored and also enjoys collecting luxury watches. Yes, see, everything's for himself, though. Well, I don't think he's in debt to fund these purchases. I don't really know. Good point. So far, he pays for dinner when we go out, usually at my suggestion, but often seems a little hesitant, like he's mentally calculating things or just not relaxed about it. I've dated people in the past, including my ex-husband, who didn't stress about who paid and generally picked up the tab, especially if they were the higher earner. This hesitation is new for me and has made me feel a little unsure. Finances are obviously a major part of long-term compatibility, and while I really like him and think that he has great qualities as a potential partner and eventually as a stepfather, I want to make sure I feel comfortable before things get more serious. He's even said he'd like to meet my child at some point, and I explained that I don't introduce anyone unless it's a very serious relationship. He was respectful of that. So, my question to you, Deb, is how can I bring up the topic of finances in a thoughtful, non judgmental way at this stage of our relationship? I don't want to sound transactional, but I also don't want to sweep this under the rug. Any advice would be appreciated. Thanks, Deb. You guys can also chime in, please. I'm going to say this. Um, You have a man who don't he the sky's the limit when he's buying some shit for himself. But when he takes you out, he be looking at I know that kind you talking about. They be staring at the check and they got to look at it and they look trying to they're calculating the tip and they're going through all these changes because they really don't want to pay it. They want you to just snatch from them and then to pay it. So what you to start off this conversation, you say, I noticed that there seems to be an issue when we go out to dinner and it's time to pay the check. You seem to be really hesitant about it and uncomfortable with paying the check. Can I check in with you about why that's going on? What's bothering you? That's how you open the door to this conversation. You ask questions. I don't want you to make any statements, okay, other than you observed this. Okay, that's the only statement you're going to make. You are going to ask this man questions about where this is coming from, what is he afraid of, why he thinks, what would this would be a problem? How would that work if you guys are a married couple and raising children together? How would he feel about covering all the expenses in the household while you were recovering from maternity leave? How does he understand how expensive children are? You wouldn't be able to get a sports car every 2 years unless you start making way more money than what you're making right now. You got to pay daycare and buy diapers and pay for kids' medical expenses. And the costs add up. So this is that's the way you need to do it. Everything you say to him is going to be a question, unless it's just an acknowledgement. Oh, I see. Oh, is that's what's going on? You can say things like that, but you're not gonna make no judgments. You want this man to talk, and you need to get in his head. And the only way that you're gonna do that is if he feels like you're not judging him. The second you start saying, "Well, I think," then he's gonna shut down because he's gonna feel like you judging him, and you just want to figure out a way to get in his pocket. Don't do it. You better practice what I'm telling you. This is gonna be really bad. Yeah, that's what I'm well, we don't know because see, he didn't say that she's a gold digger, but he used that term. So that's my thing is where does this come from? Is this from, you know what I mean? I don't want her guessing. We're not going to guess about nothing. We're not going to jump to conclusions about nothing. We're going to open our mouths like adults and we're going to ask questions and we're going to listen to his answers. And then you're going to make some good mental notes because you need to go away and analyze what he says after. Don't make no statements. After he finishes talking, say, okay, I'm glad we had this conversation. You can be exclusive and not meet the kid because his relationship is with her. It don't have nothing to do. Don't. No, you trying to create some shit with me. It don't have nothing to do with the kid. Against that policy. Well, he's paying. We don't know if he's not interested. He does pay. He hasn't not. He has not avoided paying. But I just want her to find out where his head is and see what you just said, Kiki. That's jumping to conclusion. I just said we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But we're going to find out what's going on with this dude. She may decide that even though he looks good on paper, in all practicality, this is not a good match. So one thing I hate when women get married and the husband sitting up there like, well, you need to pay half like a fucking roommate. No, motherfucker, you gonna pay for everything because you the daddy and you the husband. Nope. I think any woman who would go into a situation like that paying half is a fool. Because that motherfucker's not going to do half the work, and he definitely ain't doing half the labor of carrying and birthing that baby. He ain't going to do half the work of doing homework and doing daycare runs. He ain't going to do half the work of staying up with sick kids, getting up in the middle of the night, changing pissy sheets and shit when they piss in the bed or throw up and stuff. They not going to do half. That's the reality. Men don't do half of shit. So if you go for that, you a dumb broad. That's all I'm gonna tell you. If you the work that women do, the chauffeuring, the shopping, the cooking, the cleaning, all that stuff. If you got an hourly wage for that at the going rate of what these people that work in those fields get paid, you would be making $250,000 a year easy. But now, men expect you to do that shit and then still pay half too. Kiss the inside of my ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the women, I don't know, they got brainwashed to think that that's what they're supposed to do and that that's okay. I'll be telling dudes. Like my husband knew. It's like, don't expect me to pay half of shit. You gonna pay all of it. He was fine with that. He didn't have a problem with it. My money is to buy stuff like, I don't know, whatever, some, special stuff. Like if they had something that normally I wouldn't get because it's not on my budget, then I come home with it, right? Suddenly. I want to buy something for the house, you know, new rugs, new bedding, something like that. That's what my money would go on. And buy, surprises for people and stuff, gifts and stuff. That's what my money went for. I'm not paying no household bills. That's your job, provider. So he already knew. Yeah, new tags. See, that's what I'm talking about. The white ones with the gold trim and stuff that you put when company comes. Look at the little towel racks and shit, little cutesy shit. I would spend my money on stuff like that. And then of course things for me. But yeah, I just don't understand. He went, girl, he makes me pay half. You should kick him in his balls. That's what you should do. Tell him, as soon as you man up and take care of your responsibilities and man this goddamn house, then we'll talk a conversation. Until then, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. And you ain't getting no pussy either. I'm not cooking for you. I'm not doing shit for you. Because you're not the man of the house. If I have to do half plus do all this other stuff too, then that means I'm the man of the house. Because I'm the one running shit, keeping it all together. It ain't you. These dudes be killing me. Question number 14. We got 18 questions today. We'll be back here on Thursday with 18 more. So if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and it's the notification bell. And then so we're good Tuesday this week, Thursday this week, and then Sunday again. I'm doing a lot of shows all of a sudden. Okay, so she's a 28 to 34-year-old Asian out of North York, Canada. The male is 28 to 34 and he's white. Summer issue. My boyfriend won't help me at all. I want to explain the situation. Okay, how long is this shit? And ask the question of you, Deb. I'm going crazy. I'll try and be specific and short for the read. Thank you, but I'm not saying short here. I'm gonna skip some of this. He's 30. I'm 33. He's 34, and we've been together for 7 years. Last week, I told him that he wasn't investing in our house financially or with effort or time. This week, after doing a food shop order online, I told him I had lost my slot as hadn't done it fast enough. I then redid the order and asked if he would mind getting this on Monday, and if so, what's his preferred time? He responded with, what? When did this become about me? I then said not to worry about it, and I figured something else out. I sat for 15 minutes and then calmly said that I'm really cross with his responses. He told me that I'm actually crossed that my slot had timed out and that I had chosen that morning to wake up in a mood with him. And that spent, okay, blah, blah, blah. This morning I messaged him from my office to tell him I have his food shop booked for collection at midday. He didn't respond. I came down at 11:30 and he wants to come. He'll need to be ready to leave in 20 minutes. He said, okay, but I'm not getting out of the car to help as I'm not dressed properly. So I came back down 20 minutes later and he's on the phone to his stepmother telling her that I woke up angry and that he has to go and collect my shopping as I'm a shopaholic. Wow. When I tried to talk over him and explain the actual situation, he kept getting louder. When reaching my car, I asked him to get out and not to come. He did, but I left the door wide open on the road. Oh, but left, wow. We have not spoken since. Background, he lost his job a couple of months ago and hasn't worked since. He doesn't contribute financially to the house, cook or clean anything, to the point where he would ask me what's for dinner after finishing a 12-hour day. I feel like everything I raise to him, he flips it onto me, and I become the issue. I'm a working professional running a team, which comes with huge pressures. I work long hours and I keep the house going. See what I'm just saying? I'm told by him that my standards are too high. Despite my standards feeling quite low with him, I settle myself for playing PlayStation right now and only getting up for smoke breaks. Help me out, Deb. How do I communicate with this child? You tell him, get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. That's what you do. What is all this? There's no communication with this dude. He is highly disrespectful. He lies about you to make himself look better. And he has no interest in helping do anything. I hope the house is just in your name. If not, pack your shit and move to one that is. Give notice where you are and then move. But if it's your house and he moved in with you, put his ass out. Tell him, get out. I don't need you here. All you do is just suck up the air and suck up the resources and you don't give shit back. And I'm tired of your fucking attitude. Get the hell out. That's what you do. This guy, I mean, he's like emotionally abusive. He gaslights you. He's disrespectful. He's just using you for a free place to stay, free food, free utilities. I don't know why you had free pussy. I don't understand why you don't see it. Yeah, tell that motherfucker, ooh, get the hell on. See, my shirt. Oh, this is my shirt. See, because what we not finna do is this shit right here. We not finna do that. To see, and what I was saying, ladies, the level of the stuff, the disrespect that women, and this worldwide issue, because we letters come in this column from all over the world. Some places, sometimes I'm shocked, but I don't know where people are posting these links that they hear about it. But so they write in, and then but so this is like a behavior pattern. This must be socialization of the female gender. That's all I can think of because it's so widespread. The women take so much disrespect and so much like callous behavior, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, sometimes physical abuse, because they want to keep the relationship. There's no way in this world, exactly, Tina, I was thinking that too. There's no way in this world that he should be living at the house for 3 months and he ain't contributing nothing. I don't care if your ass go collect cans on the street. You better bring in some money. He could go sign up for some temp agency or something. They always looking for people with different job skills. You could do, blue collar worker. You could do off white collar worker. He got some skills. He had a job, but his ass would be on the street. I would not give a damn. Let's move on. Question number 15. This female, 20 to 34. She's Caucasian from Vancouver, Canada. Summary of issue: dating an anxious man. Oh, God, why would you do that? I'm a 28-year-old woman writing in to ask about a guy I'm dating who is very anxious. First date was fine, everything was normal. It was quite early. He was quite early waiting in the restaurant. Brought snacks for me as I have gastric. Before the second date, I was sick and flying off soon, so we had been postponing our second date for 3 weeks. After I came back from my trip, I was sick with a fever for a few days. During this period, he sent me foods and fruits. But of course, I was on meds and only limited texting as I spent most of the time asleep. After I recovered, he went with me to my race. Everything was normal, but he did tell me he deleted his dating app. I was his first date from the app after he got out of an abusive, toxic relationship 3 months prior. He didn't meet anyone else when I was overseas. On our official second date, he was so anxious as if he needed to perform. He asked all kinds of questions when there was slight silence as we were eating. He started strong by asking how he could improve, how to be a better boyfriend for me. We sat side by side facing views from the restaurant. He kept looking at me the entire time. The questions and the staring were enough to make me uncomfortable. Later, he pulled out a handmade folded bouquet with a size of hand palm or smaller. I wasn't impressed. Well, if we are to see flowers, I'd expect real flowers. Yeah, instead of paper and palm size. That's like some kitty shit. He then said his goal today was to make me happy and impress me. He told me he wants to make this work. This was the second time he said this. Huh. He asked to send me home, which I agreed. After I arrived, he asked me if we could still continue dating and take it slow. He asked if we didn't make it, can we be friends? And if I wouldn't be comfortable anymore around him. All of these put on more and more pressure. I was already so overwhelmed and just wanted to get home for some rest. I told him we would talk about after he got his session from his therapist. I suggested he go for an ad hoc session as I felt that whatever I got to say at that moment should come from a therapist, not a partner. It's been a week since that date, so you had 2 days with him and all this confusion. I replied to him, thanks for giving me space, and told him we have very different space emotionally, that I do not have the capacity to meet his needs if we were to continue. And to be honest, I have yet developed any feelings for him romantically, although he ticked most of my boxes. While he is already so invested, I am really unsure whether I continue to date him or we can just be friends and see where things go. Is this normal for anxious attachment people to fall so soon and so fast? Should I just be friends first? Just so you know, I asked what makes him so sure I'm that person. He told me it was just a feeling. He also told me that the physically abusive one was his ex. That's at least that's what he told me, and he has been on therapy. Okay, that was the longest fucking letter. First of all, You found a nut, okay? You found a nut. I don't know. This people be talking about I have anxious attachment, whatever. I'm like, basically, when you say you got all these afflictions, see, I lose interest. I lose interest. People they got, what bipolar, schizophrenia, anxious attachment, just general craziness, low self-esteem, any of it. I don't want to be bothered with you. Go see a shrink and fix that shit. After you get fixed, then come back and check me, check with me and see what's going on. But I'm not about to spend any of time for any of your effort fixing broken people. That's not my job. I do that on the show, and that's the only time I do it. The only reason I do it is because they write asking me for help to do it. So I oblige them. But do I want that in my private life and looking at that every day and waking up next to it? Hell to the no. Oh, I know it's like everybody up in here today, huh? Hadn't seen Sliver for a minute. Cookie face girl and Mo. Yeah, this is unfortunate, girlfriend, but um, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this, but you asked for space and he seems like he's gonna give it to you, so you should be all right now. You should be okay. Should you be friends with him first? Nope. He just wants to, can you continue to date him? Absolutely not. Can you just be friends? He can't be friends with you. And once a man tells you that he likes you in a romantic sense, and you want to throw him that crumb like oh, we can be friends, that's fucked up. Don't do that. Just cut off ties and turn him loose so you can find somebody else to bother. Question number 16. We got two more, well, I guess 16, 17. Three more questions today. 18 questions today, 18 questions Thursday. So come back on Thursday. Female, 35 to 41. She's African American from Florida. And the other female's 50 to 56. Summary issue. I'm dreading going to my cousin's kids' celebration. Hi, Debs. I have an older cousin I used to be very close to when I was younger. She's a cousin of mine with two children. One of them, her daughter that I used to babysit when I was young, up until she was about 15, until she was about 5. I was in college at the time and eventually just moved on with my life doing other things. Over the years, my cousins have grown apart. To be fair, she and her husband, who I also used to be close with, had a bad divorce, which exacerbated her terrible attitude. She was always a bit of a bitch who says smart shit and has many moments where she is rude as fuck for no reason. When she first moved to this area, I was 15. As I grew older as an adult, I started telling her off on various occasions in response to her BS because I got tired of it. Over the recent years, one of the big blows when I was with her was when her daughter had a graduation party from high school and I didn't get an invitation. I was pissed. Over the years, I always thought that me and my little cousin would be closer. And I felt that my older cousin part of the reason why we are not. I could be off about this, but my older cousin always gossiping and talking ish about folks. I feel like her opinions about me, whenever we had our beefs, and other families members have framed the way her kids feel about us, as they tend to be very flat toned when we come around. Oh, that, oh, that. This may not have been right, but when I found out about the party that I did not receive an invite for, I called her and told her she was a trifling bitch for leaving me out of the loop on my little cousin's celebration. She didn't expect that and hung up on me. What you think? Our relationship never really recovered after that. Last year, one of our other cousins my age passed away. Me and my mother put her on the memorial service together. My cousin, the one this letter is about, and her annoying family members, her mom and her sister came to the service. They were all collectively rude. It wasn't just me that acknowledged this. I was so taken aback at how rude they were after the service, especially given the stress I was dealing with at the time. I just couldn't wrap my mind around the lack of warmth or even the decent greeting they gave when I spoke. That day, I decided I was done with all of them and a few other family members for how distasteful they were throughout the entire process. Okay, girl, you wrote too much. I want you to cut this shit in half next time. So let me skip some of this. So now her kids are 17 and 21, and they graduated high school and college at the same time. In June, next weekend, they're having a graduation party, which their mother sent me a text message of the Evite. After years of being thoroughly annoyed with her side of the family and her flat-toned ass kids, I'm just over it. There's a part of me that feels like it's the kids' graduation. I don't want them to think I don't care about them. But the other part of me knows that these kids don't feel connected to me and I cannot stand their family, so I don't want to go. I had a point in my life where I'm so tired of forcing myself to push relationships with family members that don't make the same effort towards me just because they are family. It has not benefited me. What should I do? Should I suck it up and go to the graduation party, or should I put my feelings first and not go? Am I being overly emotional? Well, yeah, you be the, as they say, you in your feels. It's not that serious. It's a fucking graduation party. What are you doing? Okay, it's not your kids. It's people you don't even associate with. What is all this? Okay, this is what you're gonna do. You gonna exactly. You gonna put a $50 bill in a card, or two cards, and then you gonna mail them that shit and be done with it. That's what you're gonna do. $50 is plenty for people that you don't really associate with. Because you got to think about it. If you went to the party, you would spend that much on gas, right? Getting your hair, nails, and stuff done. So $50, that's a good deal. Just get you a nice little Hallmark card or something, and put that crisp little $50 bill you get from the bank, and slap that shit in there and say, "Congratulations, I'm proud of you," and sign your name and put that shit in the mail. That's what you're gonna do. And then you're not gonna worry about them no more. They got a mama, let her worry about their little asses. Exactly. This is you just doing too much. That's what that is. You just doing the absolute most and got all kind of emotions about it. Call the woman a bitch. And I want you to stop. Question number 17. This is a female. Oh, a Dollar Tree. Well, okay. Can we do something a little better than the Dollar Tree dollar card? Something a little better. So a little, maybe at least 2.99. Okay, question number 17. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The female in this letter is 50 to 56. Summit issue. My mom wants me to be her caretaker in the future, but I both don't want to and physically and mentally cannot. Hey, Auntie, my mom and I have been in a very rocky relationship over the years, lots of fighting. I mean, almost every time we talk, we get into it about something. She hurt me a lot in the past, nothing physical, thankfully, it's just mainly mentally and emotionally. Recently, maybe in the past month or so, we got into a big fight and decided to change how we interact. It's been great. Firstly, we both give a compliment to each other daily, and it's been doing well to keep things peaceful. We've been working on making adjustments in how we interact with each other. She recently has begun stating that she wants me to be her caretaker. She seems serious about it, talking about how she would feel safe with me. See, but I tell you earlier about the old people, they start getting worried about we're going to be taking care of them. Are they going to be? Are they going to be um, sitting in shitty diapers? Ah, I'm very honored by this, but I don't think I'm capable of doing this in many ways. Here's the main reasons. Number one, I am disabled. Some days I struggle to do things as simple as bathing and getting dressed. I'm genuinely worried if I took on the role of being her caretaker, I would not be able to properly help her. That's a valid point two. I don't feel safe with her. Our relationship may be improving, but there's a lot of things that she's done and said that I feel can't be undone or unsaid. That's right. I used to be cracking up when watch them crime shows and they say the jury should disregard that statement. What you even saying that shit for? The jury ain't gonna disregard shit. That's the main thing they're gonna remember is that. Just because you pointed it out. Point number three, we are extremely incompatible people down to our core personalities, tastes, views, etc. We already live together. I'm moving out at the end of the year, and it has not gone well. I don't think it would magically improve just because I was her caretaker. I think she's worried that she would end up vulnerable in an unsafe environment and knows I am someone who would do my best to help her without adding any shame to the situation. I want her to feel safe and happy, but I also do not think I'm the right fit for that long term. I love to have her over for a few days, maybe help her if I'm having some low symptoms, and do my best to make her feel safe. But ultimately, I am genuinely terrified of becoming her caretaker. I can't figure out how to delicately say I am hands down the worst fit as a caretaker. Sure, I wouldn't make fun of her if she fell ill, but I also wouldn't be able to help her back up either. And I might end up in the situation where I'd be the one needing help off the floor. I should add one of my able bodied siblings has seemed to have been planning on taking over this role for years. I thought the decision was basically already made that she would stay with that person who has medical training and drive to help her. Well, I mean, whether she wants to do that or not, that's what's going to happen. And that's what you're going to tell her. Say, Mom, I'm glad that you feel like you would be safe with me, but um, I physically and mentally and emotionally am incapable of taking on that workload. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I don't have the health for that. I don't have the stamina for that. So I'm not going to be your caretaker. So and so over here has been preparing to step into that role. What is the reason why you think that they would be good at it? And she gonna have some reason to say, oh well, that's too bad. You go, that's your only option. Either that or you're gonna go to a nursing home. I don't know what to tell you, but you ain't coming with me. And that's what you gotta let her know. So they be doing bullshit and stuff. They forget. You getting older. You're gonna need somebody to change your pamper. It ain't gonna be me. Isn't that funny how you start life and you be in Pampers and you end life you be back in Pampers, but they be a lot bigger. It's really a trip. Anyway, let's move on to our last question of today. This looks like super long. Oh my God. Okay, we had long letters today. She must have been saving them for a day when I had a short thing, so it would take up the same amount of time, but less letters. I'm thinking that was Candace's strategy. So question number 18. This looks like it's three women. Okay, two of them are white and one is mixed. The right letter writer is mixed race. 28 to 34, then the 22 to 27, and another 28 to 34 women. The last two are white. From San Ramon, California. Okay, summer issue. My wife and I can't decide how to handle one of our friends. Oh, it's a girl marriage. I see. First, let me tell you everyone's age. My wife is 27, and me, I call her Emma, and I, Ruth, I'm 30. Are part of a friend group that she so all these names are in quotes, so you know it's not their real name. A friend group that includes the person I'm writing in about. Let's call her Tegan. She's 31 and she is difficult. This Tegan is constantly passive aggressive and makes a lot of jokes that demean or put down other people's accomplishments. Oh, that kind. At this point, we have two regular group activities that my wife and I organize that Tegan participates in. Friday night game nights and tennis a couple of times a week, in addition to gatherings for birthdays, holidays, and other one off events that come through. One of my best friends actually stopped coming to tennis because she doesn't want to have to put up with Tegan. Tegan will almost always show up, but then doesn't actually want to play. She just sits on the bench and tries to pull people into conversation whenever they take water breaks. If someone doesn't end up sitting out during our practice time to talk with her, she'll always complain about it when we wrap up and make passive aggressive comments about this being a social group, not a serious sports team. Deb, I'm an organizer for tennis, so I've started arranging with people individually instead of in our group text. It's never been at specifically consistent times, so I think Tegan thinks we just stopped playing regularly. Back in December, she was called out after saying something rude by a guy named, quote, Zeke, 29. She tried to say it was a joke and spent the rest of the evening pouting. The next time she came to tennis at every single water break told us that she had something she just had to get advice on. We, Emma and I, agreed to stay for 10 minutes after, which turned into 30 minutes of her trying to get us to agree that Zeke is a terrible person who is targeting her. I finally said that I actually agreed with Zeke, at which point she left. Good strategy. We took a break from both activities for the holidays, and when things resumed, she acted like nothing had happened. I recently pointed out that something she said about our house was rude in the moment at a recent game night, and she responded by saying that she was so sorry, then laying her head on the table for 10 minutes. When I didn't give her any attention because I was finishing setting up dinner and honestly done with her antics, she said that she was not going to spend the whole night thinking about how she had said this rude thing. I said I thought that was a good way to ruin her own night. Oh my God, you just play by play is just too much. Emma, that's the wife, wants to have a sit down talk with her about her behavior to see if it can improve. But having seen how she handled the situation with Zeke, I don't think she'd be open to any kind of constructive feedback. At the same time, it's pretty hard to remove her from our Friday night game nights with some kind of conversation, considering it's at the same time and place every week. So there aren't formal invites. Any advice for me? Well, I'm trying to figure out why all you grown ass people are sick of this woman and her nonsense, and why don't all y'all get together and read her the riot act? Say we're sick of you. So it seems right now it's just like one person, one person. No, it needs to be all of you because she's just thinking it's this one person. It's just that one person has an attitude. She doesn't understand that it's everybody has an attitude. So that's what I'm saying. When the next game night, you set aside 10 minutes before the game night starts and y'all sit around there and have a fucking intervention on her ass. That's what I would do. And then tell her, you got read by Zeke, you got told a couple of times, and your behavior still continues. People are sick of you. So, really the best bet is for you not to come to these things because you don't really participate in them anyway. And, your way you communicate with people and your attitude, it looks all kinds of fucked up and we're sick of you. So that's what you need to do. You guys need to get together and deliver drop the hammer on her as a group. That has not happened. You guys are running from it like cowards. And I just don't understand how grown people that's bold enough to have wives, especially, is going to be sitting up here and letting this woman ruin your life. I'm like, where they do that at? All right, so that was it. We had a good show today. 18 questions. Actually, that's pretty good. That's good. That's a good length amount of questions. We will be back on Thursday doing the same thing. So feel free to come on through. I'll have the Menti up and running for you for that show, so you can vote on the letters and share your thoughts and opinions that way. All right. I'll put the link to the Menti in the show description for the YouTube people, so that you will already have it before we even get started, and you can log on to Menti before I even get started reading the questions, so you'll be ready. All right. It's good to see you guys, all you people that haven't showed up for a minute. Good to see you. I hope to see you here on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Okay. Bye.